All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about a massive shift in how businesses are using generative AI for video. It's all about something called the pipeline, and trust me, it's changing the entire game. So let me just ask you a question right off the bat. Is your AI video strategy basically built on last year's tech? Are you still thinking about it as just typing a prompt into a box to get a single little video clip?
The reason I ask is, well, if you are, you need to know that the rest of the enterprise world has already moved on, and they've moved on really, really fast.
And that brings us to our first big point. We are officially living at the end of the prompting era. What started out as this really cool, fascinating creative toy is now a dead serious enterprise tool.
I mean, just look at this slide. It perfectly sums up the two different universes. Over on the left, you've got the hobbyist way of doing things. One prompt, one little 3-second clip, and a whole lot of manual work. But on the right, that's the new enterprise reality. A single API call that can spin up 10,000 unique videos, all running inside a completely automated workflow. The difference in scale here is just staggering.
And this timeline really shows you how ridiculously fast this all happened. Before 2023, video automation was pretty much just basic templates. Last year, 2024, that was the year of the prompt. But now, we are squarely in the pipeline era.
Which, of course, brings us to our next section. Let's really define what this new reality is. So, welcome to the pipeline.
Okay, so what is the pipeline exactly? Well, think of it as generative AI video automation that's built on systems that talk to other systems. Instead of being some separate tool you have to open up, it plugs directly into the software you already use. This lets you create personalized video at an absolutely massive scale. It's no longer an app, it's a fundamental part of your operational engine.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. As Forbes pointed out late last year, generative AI has graduated. This isn't some science fair experiment anymore. It's core infrastructure.
So, that leads us right to the tech itself, the new automation stack. We're going to pop the hood for a minute and see how this machine actually works.
Here's the whole automated workflow broken down into 4 pretty simple steps. First, your CRM, like a Salesforce, notices a customer does something. Let's say they leave an item in their shopping cart. Step 2, an API call is automatically fired off to a video render engine in the cloud. 3, a totally unique video gets put together just for that person, maybe even showing the exact items they left behind. And finally, 4, that personalized video lands right in their inbox. All of this happens without a human being lifting a finger.
Now, the really critical concept that makes this whole thing possible is something called agentic systems. This isn't just basic automation. We're talking about autonomy. These are AI systems that can actually plan, create, and deliver content all on their own, using real-time data from your customers. It's a huge leap.
So the automation stack itself has a few core parts. It's built API first, which just means it's designed to easily connect to other software. It hooks into your CRM to get that rich customer data. It uses something called webhooks, which are basically just automatic notifications to keep track of everything in real time. And finally, it uses super strict versioning control to make sure nothing breaks. We'll actually talk more about that in a bit.
Okay, so we've seen the how, but let's talk about the so what. Why does this technology actually matter? Well, the business impact really boils down to 3 huge advantages: speed, scale, and what we call hyper-personalization.
Let's start with speed. I mean, this chart kind of says it all, doesn't it? A video project that would have taken a whole team about 50 hours of manual work can now be done as an automated batch job in 40 minutes. That's not just a little improvement, it's a complete revolution in the economics of making video.
So what's the bottom line? A 90% reduction in total production time. Just take a second and think about what your team could get done with all that time back.
But here's the real kicker. This isn't just about making the same old videos faster. The true power here is that you can now do something that was literally impossible before. Deliver a unique, hyper-personalized video experience to every single one of your customers, automatically.
Now, of course, with all of this incredible power comes some pretty serious responsibility. And that brings us to governance. How do you actually manage the very real risks that come with this tech in a world full of regulations?
Well, for any big company, there are a few major challenges. You've got to worry about things like copyright infringement, new rules from groups like the FTC, the security of your customers' personal data, and of course, just keeping your brand looking consistent across thousands of automated videos.
The good news is, for every one of these risks, a mature, enterprise-level solution has already been developed. To stop copyright issues, you use template approval gates. For FTC compliance, you automatically add digital watermarks. And to protect customer data, you use systems that are SOC 2 certified and have role-based access controls to limit who can see what. These aren't just nice ideas, they are non-negotiable engineering requirements.
And here's a perfect example of that kind of enterprise-grade thinking: semantic versioning. Honestly, just think of it as a safety lock for your entire brand. It makes sure that when your creative team makes an update to a video template, it doesn't accidentally break the thousands of automated campaigns that are already live and depending on the old version. This is absolutely critical for stability when you're working at scale.
So, look, if you take just one thing away from this whole explainer today, please let it be this. AI video is no longer about making one little clip. It's about designing, building, and operating a fully automated content factory. And that leaves us with one final, pretty direct question. This isn't some trend that's happening in the future. It is happening right now. Your competitors are already out there building their video pipelines. Is your team ready to compete?